Good traders, it's Day the CEO here. I just recorded this video like 3 times over because my mic is acting up. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So basically I'm going to be going over all the entries and positions I took today for the trading day. We took about 5 different positions. Me personally, I also took one of the admins in the groups plays on a Tesla bounce as well as a Tesla scalp that I signaled myself. So yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, follow my Instagram at DayTheCEO, and follow at Project3 Trading if you need signals or just a good environment to trade with. So first we'll get right into it. First stock that I played is Upstart. So we drew out this 280 resistance level. This is basically the key level that I drew out for playing. We saw that we touched here 2 different times. We saw this resistance. We weren't able to pull up as much, but we were able to reach the 279.3 level. Now, we did sell off recently as well, with Upstart. So what we're doing is basically playing off this lower range, catching this consolidation. So now what we're in is a consolidation range. You could have also took this level, I'd say, for puts and played that, but I only played the upside today. Today was a pretty volatile day in the market. If you played the market today, you would have known. Basically like a bull trap, if so to say, because we did have that run up right at the open. We did have that heavy buying volume right at the open, and then we did begin to sell off. So for Upstart, all we did today is catch this break of around 280 for calls. I played this on the small account, also the Thinkorswim account, so we saw buying volume start to come in right at open, looking pretty bullish. Right at the very open, we did sell off a bit. Now, that's pretty normal for just right at the market open. People are taking profit, so we opened. Then we saw that buying volume come in, pushing heavily to the upside, so we entered calls around here, played to around the 282 level, and then took profit right here, which left us with around a 25% to 30% gains on profit. So it all really depends on when you got your entry, but this is the level that I signaled to enter at. So if you did enter there, you got about a 30% return. Then we signaled take profit right here. So yeah, you can also look at the 5-minute chart and see the break. You're basically just looking at this consolidation range, and then we see divergence as well on the MACD, which is pretty bearish. So we've seen this reject all the way down here. So if you want, you could draw your trend line as well, and that's all we really played. It's just that scalp right there on Upstart. Signaled it, got in, easy scalp right there. So about 1280 on the small account was used, and then able to profit around 360 for that $1,000 account challenge already. So you don't need to use $5, $6, $7,000 to make a few hundred. You can start out small and get your gains regardless. So here's the next play we were playing was Tesla. So my entry point was above 745 for calls. We did run up. We have been on a recent bull run for Tesla overall. And yeah, correct, Baba is depressing. We're gonna add to that position and talk more about that soon. So we did break above 745, headed to the upside. We saw this 752 level, which we were able to take profit here for the scalp. So we saw a lot of bullish movement straight at the open, a lot of buying volume, heavy to the upside, and then we did see this little pullback. So first entry point was right here around 745 at this resistance. We then played to the upside, caught here, took profit. Malik signaled 746 bounce for Tesla, so we ended up catching this level as well, and then playing all the way up to this upside, which we were able to catch for a good scalp again. Tesla was honestly able to hold up pretty well throughout the day, and it ended up closing in the 740s, even though the market continued to pull down. So those are basically the 2 different entry points for Tesla that we took today. If you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment below. And yeah, let's get into the next play, which was MRNA or Moderna. I like playing Moderna recently just because of how much it moves, and you're able to catch some pretty nice moves on this play. So yeah, if you don't already know, Moderna moves pretty fast. So if you're not really in tune with your risk management and able to follow your trading plan accordingly, this isn't a stock that I recommend playing. It will move pretty fast and viciously like Tesla and Amazon, etc. So just because of COVID and everything, this is a high volume stock, so it's always really trading at high volume. So our first entry point is going to be this break of 432, and then I put the profit trim levels already were pre-written due to the Monday sell-off, which we also caught here for a great puts move, and this was just a huge great sell-off candle of profits for us. So right here is where the first entry was, drew this resistance, and then we broke up. So really this is similar to UPST because we did have this run up and then we did see a sell-off. So us catching this beginning bull movement right at the open of the market is what's enabling us to catch these quick scalps. Since we're not playing off the highest levels, if we see an overall bounce in something like SPY, QQQ, NQ, that's what allows us to play back to the upside and catch these easy resistance points. Now, you never want to force a trade. Make sure all your levels are defined. Right here, this is a defined level. We'll go look at the Project 3 Discord to show you guys exactly how I signal and show you guys how I signal and enter the trade. So right here, MRNA looks good. If market pushes upside, watching 432.15 intraday for 435 calls. So we basically saw this level, drew it out, 432.18. We drew this, we broke above, had this already set. So this is already drawn out before the stock even hit those high levels. So we did end up exiting around like the 436, 437 area just because I didn't like the overall market. But if you did leave runners, you would have caught that upside. So let's see if we get this volume push, MRNA sending, stop trail for 35. Then we did end up running even more. So this is gonna also give us some IV as well since the push was so fast. And then we ended up catching a quick 1500 little play right here for 20% with only 5 contracts. So I ended up entering the 425 calls just to be in the money, and then we ended up exiting around this level right here, so within the same candlestick that you guys are looking at, so that our IV looks good. So we didn't hold, I personally didn't hold all the way up to this 440 level, but if you did, congrats if you entered this play. Regardless, a great scalp. And yeah, so just an overview, all we're doing is seeing this square right here, this highlighted level. This is basically the first touch. Then we see this touch right here. Now mRNA was really gonna, I expected mRNA to be pretty bullish for today due to that sell-off, and then the cross on MACD as well was heading to the upside, as well as the heat map background volume indicator, which told us that we were heading to the upside. So this wasn't really a play right at the open. This was about 30 to 40 minutes into the market, and then we took profit. So that's basically an easy play we caught right there on mRNA. My bad, my nose is stuffy if I sound sick. So next thing we did is basically caught this ROKU play as well, which was on the watch list. So we see this descending movement. Overall, ROKU has been heading to the downside. If I pull up this chart right here, we did see this break to the upside, and then this is basically the levels we drew out. So I drew this level right here around the 324.3 level, as well as the 326.7 for a second entry. You could have also entered at another entry point around here if you wanted to just catch a quick scalp. So these are the entry levels drawn out. The MACD did peak right here, so that's why we ended up taking our profit. Now right here is the highest level, or also known as high of day for ROKU. So what we're doing is playing this break of the upside just like how we are for all the other names like UPST MRNA, and Roku. Obviously, Tesla was more of a play that already had that high volume coming in. Even though we sold off a bit from the 760 level, it was able to contain and hold its momentum throughout the day. So that's just the difference between Tesla and all the other plays. That's why we were able to catch a bounce as well as a break just to the upside for calls. So that's basically the play as well for Roku. So just reviewing all the plays, caught this small account also on Thinkorswim account, caught this Thinkorswim account, played a small bounce, entered, got out at around 15% for a quick scalp with Malik. I did enter a bit late for that one, but still, regardless, all the indicators lined up, so that's why we took that trade. Next one, MRNA, one of my favorites that I signaled out. This was a great move. Roku, I'd say that this is the 4th place for me. So these were all taken. These were all the major trades. Roku was nonetheless still a good scalp, and all were in profit. So all the trades I entered today were really overall green. I didn't really force any trades. Just what I always recommend doing in this market is sitting back, watching, and just being patient and emotionless. That's all you can really do, and make sure that you're getting correct entry points as well as exiting at the right time. So like I talked about before in the last video, we did end up breaking the trend on SPY. So heading to the downside, we did end up breaking. Now what I can say is that we are in bounce territory now. Even though personally I don't believe that the market is due to bounce at these levels, nonetheless, anything's possible. If we zoom out and look at all this previous movement, we can't be biased. We can't just base our entry points and how we play stocks based off emotion, because we did see bounces, various times. If you want to look at the chart, 1, 2, and it just goes on, 3, and if you just keep zooming out, you'll continue to see, except for that double bottom over there. So we're at around 444. If we do end up playing SPY tomorrow, hopefully we can break under this level and then get around a good 5-point move or so with SPY if we end up selling off hard, because people will probably end up selling off their positions. So whenever the market begins to sell off, I like to play Amazon, Netflix. I kind of stay away and leave the Apple, AMD up to Malik in the chat. So I usually like to play names like Tesla, Amazon, Netflix. He also signals out AMD, SQ, Neo, smaller names. So we all do both, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram at Day the CEO, follow the trading team at Project 3 Trading, follow the links below. And yeah, I appreciate you guys very much. Drop any video ideas that you guys would like to see next. And yeah, it's been good. And yeah, have a great night. Make sure to drop a like. See you guys in the next one.